Alright guys, welcome back. So this is total and lateral surface area of a rectangular prism. The first thing I want you to remember is that lateral means walls only. Total surface area means walls plus both bases. That's total. This is lateral. Now, when you go to find lateral surface area, you're going to go to a formula chart, and you're going to go to surface area first, and you're going to go down to what you're working with. In this case, this is a prism. Both rectangular and triangular prism are going to have the same formulas. There's two types of formulas. One for lateral, walls only, and total, which includes both bases. So let's write the formula over here. For lateral, it's going to be capital P times H. And for total, it's going to be also capital P times H plus 2 capital B. As a reminder, these guys are capitalized for a reason. There's a couple of reasons you're supposed to remember that they're capitalized. Number one, they're associated with the base of this thing. Number two, they have their own formula. Let's talk about capital B. What does capital B mean?
Area of the base.
Area of the base. What is the shape of the base of this thing? It's a rectangle. Let's talk about capital P. I'm going to move that over here. This stands for the perimeter of the base. Perimeter of the base. It's the same base. The base is still a rectangle. Now, if we're talking about area of this base, which is a rectangle, versus perimeter of this base, which is a rectangle, if you need the formula for area of a rectangle, it's going to be on your formula chart. You can go to area, down to rectangle, and you can come over here and go, oh yeah, it is simply baseline times height line, which you were taught length times width. You were taught length times width, same thing, right? It's just, now we're going to call it baseline times height line. That's the formula that is associated with the capital letter B. Let's talk about capital P. It has its own formula. We don't give you the formula. You're supposed to know already, if we're finding the perimeter of a rectangle, how many sides are on a rectangle? 4. So we're going to write side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3 plus side 4. That's the formula associated with capital P. Okay? Now, before we go any further, this is for our instructional purposes. Which one of these parts do I tell you to start with? The height line. That's right. That runs from base to base. That's right. So let's list H over here. It runs from
base to base.
That's right. From base to base. Now, this is where you have to remember. If it's a rectangular prism, the base is going to be a rectangle, number one. Well, on this guy, there are 6 rectangles. So you're going to take the rectangle that it's sitting on and make it its base every time. So let's go ahead and shade that just to illustrate that we know that the base is what it's sitting on for a rectangular prism. And since there's got to be 2 of them, we know that the top is also a base. And now that we've illustrated what is the base and the base, which line runs from base to base? What number runs from base to base?
3.
That's right. H, or little h, equals 3. We can put a box around that. Get it off of the picture because now you don't need it. And all of the other numbers on this illustration are associated with the base of this thing. And that brings us back to capital P and capital B. Let's talk about capital B. There's only 2 numbers on here left on this picture. We've already taken the height off from base to base. The 6 and the 2 are the only 2 numbers. This in fact is going to be your baseline is 6.
And then the
Height line is 2 of the base.
It's pretty simple.
Pretty simple, very simple. What is 2 times 6?
12.
So our base, our area of the base is going to be 12 feet squared to be exact. We just need to know that it's 12, quite honestly. Our height line is 3. Now let's talk about capital P because that's the other part to these 2 formulas that we absolutely need to know. I've got to add 4 sides together, but I only see 2. If this is 6, what is this?
That's going to be 6 and then the other side's going to be
If this is 2, what's this going to be?
2.
There we go. So I'm going to add 6 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2. Capital P then is going to be 16. Okay. I have all of the parts that I need to solve this guy. Okay? For lateral, in fact, let's write it this way. LSA is going to equal capital P times H. Capital P, 16, times my height line of 3. The lateral surface area is simply going to be 16 times 3. It is as simple as that. And that means it's 48 feet squared because we're talking about area. And to be clear, it is simply the 4 walls that we did not shade in. The area of the 4 walls is 48 square feet. Now, if we know that the 4 walls is 48 square feet, and that was perimeter times the height, let's look over here. Do we already use perimeter times the height? Yeah. 16 times 3 is 48. We've already got this part right here. But for total surface area, we're not done because we have to add in the area of both bases. That is to say, the 2 faces that we shaded. We need to add in the area of both bases. So we're simply going to say plus 2. What's happening between a number and a variable when they're sitting next to each other? Are they being subtracted?
multiplied.
Yeah, they're being multiplied. So I know I'm going to take 2 times whatever I got for the area of that base, which is right down here. 2 times 12. So 48 plus 24. This is going to be my total surface area. In fact, on my calculator, I've already got the lateral surface area in there. I'm just going to add in the area of both bases. And that's 72. 72 feet squared is the total surface area. Now, let's just think about this logically. If we were only had the lateral surface area, the area of the 4 walls, and we added in the area of both bases, shouldn't this number always be bigger than this number? Yeah, absolutely, because total includes both bases, which is what we started with up here. It's the walls plus the area of both bases. Raise your hand if you have any questions.